Well, good morning. West Tennessee Dave here this morning, live from you on Twitch, 6:33 Tuesday morning. It's a good start to the morning to wake up, hear a good story, and drink a little coffee, start your day with some friends around a story. That's what we're here to do today. So, good morning. Good to see you. Hope your day is going excellent. So, it's story time with West Tennessee Dave. Welcome, 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 friends. It is good to be here. Thanks for coming by. And it is now time to read the story. And what are we going to read today? We are going to read where the story last left off. We're going to read Genesis 25 through 28 today. Parts of 25 and parts of 28. A little bit shorter than last time, which will be nice. Today is going to be about the story of Isaac. So just as a quick reminder, we finished the story of Abraham over the last two readings, Abram and Abraham. He has passed on. Now we're on to the next generation, which is his son Isaac and Isaac's wife Rebekah. So we're going to pick up where the story left off in Genesis 25. Let's get started. This is the account of the family of Ishmael, the son of Abraham through Hagar, Sarah's Egyptian servant. Here is a list by their names and clans of Ishmael's descendants. The oldest was Nebaioth, followed by Kedar, Abdeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hada, Hema, Jetur, Nephish, and Kedema. These 12 sons of Ishmael became the founders of 12 tribes named after them, listed according to the places they settled and camped. Ishmael lived for 137 years, then he breathed his last and joined his ancestors in death. Ishmael's descendants occupied the region from Havilah to Shur, which is east of Egypt in the direction of Ashur. They lived in open hostility toward all their relatives. This is the account of the family of Isaac, the son of Abraham. When Isaac was 40 years old, he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean from Paddan Aram, and the sister of Laban, the Aramean. Isaac pleaded with the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was unable to have children. The Lord answered Isaac's prayer, and Rebekah became pregnant with twins. But the two children struggled with each other in her womb. So she went to ask the Lord about it. "Why is this happening to me?" she asked. And the Lord told her, "The sons in your womb will become two nations. From the very beginning, the two nations will be rivals. One nation will be stronger than the other, and your older son will serve your younger son." And when the time came to give birth, Rebekah discovered that she indeed had twins. The first one was very red at birth and covered with thick hair like a fur coat. They named him Esau. Then the other twin was born with his hand grasping Esau's heel, so they named him Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when the twins were born. As the boys grew up, Esau became a skillful hunter. He was an outdoorsman, but Jacob had a quiet temperament, preferring to stay at home. Isaac loved Esau because he enjoyed eating the wild game Esau brought home, but Rebekah loved Jacob. One day, when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau arrived home from the wilderness exhausted and hungry. Esau said to Jacob, "I'm starved. Give me some of that red stew." This is how Esau got his other name, Edom, which means red. "All right," Jacob replied, "but trade your rights as the firstborn son." "Look, I'm dying of starvation," said Esau. "What good is my birthright to me now?" But Jacob said, "First, you must swear that your birthright is mine." So Esau swore an oath, thereby selling all his rights as the firstborn to his brother Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and lentil stew. Esau ate the meal, then got up and left. He showed contempt for his rights as the firstborn. A, se- a severe famine now struck the land, as it happened before in Abraham's time. So Isaac moved to Gerar, where Abimelech, king of the Philistines, lived. The Lord appeared to Isaac and said, "Do not go down to Egypt, but do as I tell you. Live here as a foreigner in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. I hereby confirm that I will give all these lands to you and your descendants, just as I solemnly promised Abraham, your father. I will cause your descendants to become as numerous as the stars in the sky, and I will give them all these lands. And through your descendants, all the nations of the earth will be blessed. I will do this because Abraham listened to me and obeyed all my requirements, commands, decrees, and instructions." So Isaac stayed in Gerar. When the men who lived there asked Isaac about his wife Rebekah, he said, "She is my sister." He was afraid to say, "She is my wife." He thought, "They will kill me to get her, because she is so beautiful." But sometime later, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out his window and saw Isaac caressing Rebekah. Immediately, Abimelech called for Isaac and exclaimed, "She is obviously your wife. Why did you say she is my sister?" "Because I was afraid someone would kill me to get her from me," Isaac replied. "How could you do this to us?" Abimelech explained. "One of my people might easily have taken your wife and slept with her, and you would have made us guilty of great sin." Then Abimelech issued a public proclamation: "Anyone who touches this man or his wife will be put to death." When Isaac planted his crops that year, he harvested 100 times more grain than he planted, for the Lord blessed him. He became a very rich man, and his wealth continued to grow. He acquired so many flocks of sheep and goats, herds of cattle, and servants that the Philistines became jealous of him. So the Philistines filled up all of Isaac's wells with dirt. These were the wells that had been dug by the servants of his father Abraham. Finally, Abimelech ordered Isaac to leave the country. "Go somewhere else," he said, "for you have become too powerful for us." So Isaac moved away to the Gerar Valley, where he set up their tents and settled down. He reopened the wells his father had dug, which the Philistines had filled in after Abraham's death. Isaac also restored the names Abraham had given them. Isaac's servants also dug in the Gerar Valley and discovered a well of fresh water. But then the shepherds from Gerar came and claimed the spring. "This is our water," they said, and they argued over it with Isaac's herdsmen. So Isaac named the well Esek, which means argument. Isaac's men then dug another well, but again there was a dispute over it. So Isaac named it Sitnah, which means hostility. Abandoning that one, Isaac moved on and dug another well. This time there was no dispute over it. So Isaac named the place Rehoboth, which means open space. For he said, "At last the Lord has created enough space for us to prosper in this land." From there, Isaac moved to Beersheba, where the Lord appeared to him on the night of his arrival. "I am the God of your father Abraham," he said. "Do not be afraid, for I am with you and will bless you. I will multiply your descendants, and they will become a great nation. I will do this because of my promise to Abraham, my servant." Then Isaac built an altar there and worshipped the Lord. He set up his camp at that place, and his servants dug another well. One day, King Abimelech came from Gerar with his advisor Ahuzzath, and also Phicol, his army commander. "Why have you come here?" Isaac asked. "You obviously hate me since you kicked me off your land." They replied, "We can plainly see that the Lord is with you, so we want to enter into a sworn treaty with you. Let's make a covenant. Swear that you will not harm us, just as we have never troubled you. We have always treated you well, and we sent you away from us in peace. And now look how the Lord has blessed you." So Isaac prepared a covenant feast to celebrate the treaty, and they ate and drank together. Early the next morning, they each took a solemn oath not to interfere with each other. Then Isaac sent them home again, and they left him in peace. That very day, Isaac's servants came and told him about a new well they had dug. "We found water," they exclaimed. So Isaac named the well Shibah, which means oath. And to this day, the town that grew up there is called Beersheba, which means well of oath. At the age of 40, Esau married two Hittite wives, Judith, the daughter of Beri, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon. But Esau's wives made life miserable for Isaac and Rebekah. One day, when Isaac was old and turning blind, he called for Esau, his older son, and said, "My son." "Yes, father," Esau replied. "I am an old man now," Isaac said, "and I don't know when I may die. Take your bow and quiver full of arrows, and go out into the open country to hunt some wild game for me. Prepare my favorite dish and bring it here for me to eat. Then I will pronounce the blessing that belongs to you, my firstborn son, before I die." But Rebekah overheard what Isaac had said to his son Esau. So when Esau left to hunt for the wild game, she said to her son Jacob, "Listen, I overheard your father say to Esau, 'Bring me some wild game and prepare me a delicious meal. Then I will bless you in the Lord's presence before I die.' Now, my son, listen to me. Do exactly as I tell you. Go out to the flocks and bring me two fine young goats. I will use them to prepare your father's favorite dish. Then take the food to your father so he can eat it and bless you before he dies." "But look," Jacob replied to Rebekah, "my brother Esau is a hairy man, and my skin is smooth. What if my father touches me? He'll see that I'm trying to trick him, and then he'll curse me instead of blessing me." But his mother replied, "Then let the curse fall on me, my son. Just do what I tell you. Go out and get the goats for me." So Jacob went out and got the young goats for his mother. Rebekah took them and prepared a delicious meal, just the way Isaac liked it. Then she took Esau's favorite clothes, which were there in the house, and gave them to her younger son Jacob. She covered his arms and the smooth part of his neck with the skin of the young goats. Then she gave Jacob the delicious meal, including freshly baked bread. So Jacob took the food to his father. "My father," he said. "Yes, my son," Isaac answered. "Who are you, Esau or Jacob?" Jacob replied, "It's Esau, your firstborn son. I've done as you told me. Here is the wild game. Now sit up and eat it so you can give me your blessing." Isaac asked, "How did you find it so quickly, my son?" "The Lord your God put it in my path," Jacob replied. Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Come closer, so I can touch you and make sure that you really are Esau." So Jacob went closer to his father, and Isaac touched him. "The voice is Jacob's, but the hands are Esau's," Isaac said. But he did not recognize Jacob, because Jacob's hands felt hairy just like Esau's. So Isaac prepared to bless Jacob. "But are you really my son, Esau?" he asked. "Yes, I am," Jacob replied. Then Isaac said, "Now, my son, bring me the wild game. Let me eat it, and then I will give you my blessing." So Jacob took the food to his father, and Isaac ate it. He also drank the wine Jacob served him. Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Please come a little closer and kiss me, my son." So Jacob went over and kissed him. And when Isaac caught the smell of his clothes, he was finally convinced. And he blessed his son. He said, "Ah, the smell of my son is like the smell of the outdoors, which the Lord has blessed. From the dew of heaven and the richness of the earth, may God always give you abundant harvest of grain and bountiful new wine. May many nations become your servants, and may they bow down to you. May you be the master over your brothers, and may your mother's sons bow down to you. All who curse you will be cursed, and all who bless you will be blessed." As soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and almost before Jacob had left his father, Esau returned from his hunt. Esau prepared a delicious meal and brought it to his father. Then he said, "Sit up, my father, and eat my wild game so you can give me your blessing." But Isaac asked him, "Who are you?" Esau replied, "It's your son, your firstborn son Esau." Isaac began to tremble uncontrollably and said, "Then who just served me wild game? I have already eaten it, and I have blessed him just before you came. And yes, that blessing must stand." When Esau heard his father's words, he let out a loud and bitter cry. "Oh, my father, what about me? Bless me too," he begged. But Isaac said, "Your brother was here, and he tricked me. He has taken away your blessing." Esau exclaimed, "No wonder his name is Jacob, for now he has cheated me twice. First, he took my rights as the firstborn, and now he has stolen my blessing. Oh, haven't you saved even one blessing for me?" Isaac said to Esau, "I have made Jacob your master, and declare that all his brothers will be his servants. I have guaranteed him an abundance of grain and wine. What is left for me to give you, my son?" Esau pleaded, "But you have only one blessing. Oh, my father, bless me too." Then Esau broke down and wept. Finally, his father, Isaac, said to him, "You will live away from the richness of the earth, and away from the dew of the heaven above. You will live by your sword, and you will serve your brother. But when you decide to break free, you will shake his yoke from your neck." From that time on, Esau hated Jacob because their father had given Jacob the blessing, and Esau began to scheme. "I will soon be mourning my father's death. Then I will kill my brother Jacob." But Rebekah heard about Esau's plans, so she sent for Jacob and told him, "Listen, Esau is consoling himself by plotting to kill you. So listen carefully, my son. Get ready and flee to my brother Laban in Haran. Stay there with him until your brother cools off. When he calms down and forgets what you have done to him, I will send for you to come back. Why should I lose both of you in one day?" Then Rebekah said to Isaac, "Sick and tired of these local Hittite women. I would rather die than see Jacob marry one of them." So Isaac called for Jacob, blessed him, and said, "You must not marry any of these Canaanite women. Instead, go at once to Paddan Aram, to the house of your grandfather Bethuel, and marry one of your uncle Laban's daughters. May God Almighty bless you and give you many children, and may your descendants multiply and become many nations. May God pass on to you and your descendants the blessings he promised to Abraham. May you own this land where you are now living as a foreigner, for God gave this land to Abraham." So Isaac sent Jacob away, and he went to Paddan Aram to stay with his uncle Laban, his mother's brother, the son of Bethuel the Aramean. Esau knew that his father Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him to Paddan Aram to find a wife, and that he had warned Jacob, "You must not marry a Canaanite woman." He also knew that Jacob had obeyed his parents and gone to Paddan Aram. It was now very clear to Esau that his father did not like the local Canaanite women. So Esau visited his uncle Ishmael's family and married one of Ishmael's daughters, in addition to the wives he had already had. His new wife's name was Mahalath. She was the sister of Nebaioth, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son. Okay, that's where we're going to stop for today. No, it's okay. I want commentary. I want people to engage in it. So, um, I mean, let's just take what it talks about in the facts here for a second. Um, I'm not at this place yet in my life. Okay, and I don't know how old each and every one of you are. Um, but as we get older, I've known this about people, and I tell this to my kids as well. Right? I have 6 children, and when we are young and kids, um, when you're like a young kid, okay, when you're born, you actually have the most taste buds I think you're ever gonna have, right? And I think taste buds just continuously kind of die out and become less useful as you get older, right? And um, so it says that Isaac is really old, right? And he's, getting close to death. But if as you see people age, they often salt their food quite a lot and they put spicier things on it. Why? Because those are the last taste buds that still kind of like exist. A lot of the other stuff, like you lose the ability to really taste stuff as you age. And that's why you like more foods as you get older. And when you're a kid, you're really generally kind of picky because you can taste everything very full. Everything has so much stronger taste. Um, so, he's really old. He probably just can't taste as well anymore. And yeah, the difference between game and goat's probably not that different to him at this point. Probably like a steak is a steak, or however you're gonna cook it, right? You might not be able to taste all the flavors and smell it. I mean, you might smell it, right? But and smell helps your taste quite a bit, but you just might not. That's just my take on that. As just it doesn't say any of that scripturally, but I'm just kind of like the normal things of life. So they do change. All right, you guys are yeah, I mean it says he's basically going blind, right? So and these are all things that just naturally occur as you get older, right? The systems of your body start to shut down, right? Which ones shut down kind of determines how it ends for you in general. Um, and I mean, these are thousands and thousands of years ago. These stories, I don't think they have the same modern understanding of medicine and science that we do, for sure. But doesn't mean it's better or worse. Uh, so, wow, this story here. They're all 100 plus. I think we went backwards with food health. I mean, so we didn't read the genealogy in Genesis 5, but the original people before the flood, they lived to like 700 to 900 years old, right? And then I think God told Noah that people will live to about 120, okay? And we're starting to see the ages go lower and lower um, of people when they die. But yeah, they lived longer lives. Um, you know, I don't know what that really looks like or why. That's just what it says. There is a scripture later that talks about like living to 70 or 80 later on in life. So and that seems to be more what the common thing is. But we're seeing more and more centurions these days. So I don't know. Anyways, this story here, the story of Isaac, we don't really get a ton of story on Isaac, um, except for he follows so similarly to his father's footsteps in some things. He digs wells, kind of a shepherd, he acquires cattle, things like that. He digs a lot of wells. he's in contention with the local people because he kind of doesn't assimilate, right? Necessarily with the local people. And again, I don't know. This just might be like how families operated. He's in a tribe of his own thing, Abraham. And now Isaac seems to have his own like people, got his wife, his kids, the servants. They're all taking care of his cattle, sheep, grain, so on and so forth. And maybe that's just how life was. Like they're each little tribes. You know, Abimelech was the ruler of the land, and it appears to him that this man, Isaac, and he did the same thing with Abraham, are getting kind of powerful. I guess that's just how you did. That's how life happened back then, and it's still the same things that happen today, right? Treaties and alliances are made. But I find the story of the trickery in these first few people fascinating, that it just continues to roll like downhill. Abraham said the same thing about Sarai. And maybe I should not think of it as such a thing. They love their wives. Abraham loved Sarah. Isaac loves Rebekah. He thinks that they both think that their wife was absolutely beautiful and stunning, and thinks that other people will kill them to get their wife. And maybe that was the custom back in the day. So, in order to appear that they're not husband and wife, they keep saying, "I'm the sister." Like maybe they'll think, "Oh, they're part of the clan together. We won't attack them." But it's obviously apparent that they're husband and wife at some point. When you love somebody, it becomes apparent. Like you don't treat your sister the same way you treat your wife. I mean, just in the same way that life, even in our culture, works. Um, the relationship between husband and wife and brother and sister are significantly different. You could, in theory, ask somebody for, you could ask the brother, if there's no father around, you can ask the brother for the sister's hand in marriage, right? You can't, you could ask the same person for the wife's hand in marriage if they're saying it's the sister, right? Most marriages back in those days were arranged, so there was some bartering that probably went on a lot of times. We don't necessarily see that though. I mean, obviously, our culture is so different where we typically in America choose who our spouse is, but there's still many cultures on the planet today that have arranged marriages. So it's just something we're not kind of accustomed to. But yeah, just the trickery, right? And then you see this full blown today with Isaac's kids. They have gone into full trick mode, full brother rivalry mode is what it said. They are digging at each other. They're trying to one up each other. It is so human. And then in the story, it talks about how Isaac liked Esau more because of the things he did, but Rebekah loved Jacob more. That's so human too. And you would never really mention it to your kids that, oh, I like you better than the other in our culture. We kind of just don't do that. But it's right there. Like scripturally, just from these first few families, Abraham had the same thing, right? He loved Ishmael and he loved Isaac. But obviously, Sarah loved Isaac and didn't love Ishmael. And Abraham had to pick sides basically, and he had to pick his primary wife, his the wife. It's basically like, not that he wasn't married to Hagar. Sarah gave him Hagar. It's such a weird dynamic. In this case, Isaac's like, I like the stew he makes. I like the fact that he's the gamer and goes out and does this thing, and I choose him because of what he does. And Rebecca's like, I love Jacob. He's around me, right? It's just such a weird family dynamic. It's so true to have these preferences in life, even though parents probably don't say it too much. Oh, I love my kids the same. You don't. You can't. They're different people. Like, I have 6 kids. I love all my kids, but I don't love them the same. Do I love one more than the other? I love them all, but yeah, there are definitely times I love one more than the other. And then this battle for the inheritance is starting from such an early age. And when you're young, right, Esau sells his birthright, right, which is inheritance. He's like, dude, I'm just so hungry, I don't care. I'm literally gonna die if I don't get some food in my mouth. And the trickery between the two, Jacob's just like, oh, I'm seeing my opportunity. Let's get it done. It's just so human. One year, your brother got a Game Boy for Christmas, and I got a toothbrush. I mean, case in point, right? Like, that's a great example. And it feels it feels unfair. It feels like I'm less loved than the other one sometimes when somebody gets more than the other or whatever. It's like, well, you love them more, right? And here it is. It doesn't say it's wrong anywhere. In fact, as we get further into the stories in the Bible, we'll see more and more that sometimes there is a choice and a picking, and it has to be. We even saw that at the very, very outset of humans, right? Cain and Abel. One was chosen and one wasn't by God, right? Because of what they did. And sometimes it just seems unfair. And sometimes, as a kid, you don't get to tell your parents, well, you have to love me more than them. The parents get to choose, right? Parents get to choose which one they're going to love more. That's their choice. They get to express their love how they want. That's their choice. And as a kid, you can just receive the love they give you, right? You could be jealous, and you see what happens there. It doesn't seem to go well when jealousy is the motivating factor of, well, I want what my brother has, or I want what my sister gets. What is it? It turns into Cain and Abel, right? It turns into Jacob and Esau, right? We see the exact same pattern here. One brother wants to kill the other because of what they're getting. And I think we just see that not just in our own little family dynamics, but also in the world today. So often we're jealous of what somebody else has or gets. And we just, we don't need to be jealous of what somebody else has. Don't need it at all. Oh, you turned off my sound. Oh, let's get back to some waves. Sorry. Anyways, that's where I am. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous of what others have. Be content in what you have. Learn to appreciate it. And man, this is one I've been talking to my kids about this real recently. For a long time in my life, I was a well, what I wanted in life was peace and middle. I'm a kind of peace middle guy. And so, depending on the person that I'm around or I'm rooming with or my roommate, I was often a contrarian to their style. Mainly because I wanted balance, right? If somebody was like over the top positive, then I would probably be negative. But if people were more negative, I was more positive, right? I wanted to bring kind of the opposite energy, if you will, the yin and the yang, because I don't know, I didn't find that we needed this same energy all the time. But at one time, somebody I was around was so positive. Everything went so great in their life that I became kind of more negative in general. And I don't think that that is who I'm naturally, that's not who I naturally should be. And it was kind of a bad season in my life because it's kind of like this rival. It's almost like you have to have a rivalry. You have to one up each other. You have to be like, no, this way's better. This way's better. Well, we can just, you can just be, you can let a person be who they are. That's what I've learned. Let somebody be who they are and don't be jealous of them. Don't try to one up them. Just be content. That's how you get along with people better. And I've learned to be less contrarian and be more positive. See that in my poker streams. You see that in my life. Like I want my kids to do well. I want somebody to like do better than me, do great in I mean, when I'm playing a game, I want to win, of course. But I want others to win. That's why I watch others play games too and encourage them. So, be encouraging to one another. Don't be jealous and try to one up one another. Yeah. Well, that's great. That's great. I'm happy that you're not jealous of others. I have been like sometimes we're told to be jealous, right? Our society of consumerism and capitalism is based on discontentment and jealousy of others and what they have. So, wow, the sun's coming in. You can see it on the backdrop there, huh? The windows. Anyways, just I see that in this story. I see it all the way at the beginning of time with this story here. People are jealous of what others have, and they do bad things generally because of that. And I just know it to be true in my own life, in my story in the past. So now, put that aside, walk out your own journey, walk out your own story, and be kind to others in their story. That's where I'm going to hang out. So, that's all we have for today. Thank you guys for your comments. Good to see you this morning. I hope you enjoyed the reading and the commentary. Maybe your coffee. Mine's gotten cold. I'm going to have to warm it up. It is still super cold here where I am. still not going anywhere because it's pure ice and I don't know when it's going to melt. Might have to walk to the store at some point to get some more groceries, but we'll navigate that as it comes. I will see you guys on a stream shortly. Take care. Don't be jealous of one another. Encourage each other and everyone's stories. And I will see you again soon. Thank you.